Okay, well, welcome everybody to here in Philadelphia. We're going to be doing a college recruiting seminar, college recruiting 101, college for those that came in earlier. My name is James Prince. I will be your moderator and MC for today. For those that don't know me or never met me, my name is James Prince again. I went to Penn State University many moons ago. The football and basketball there at Penn State University. 3 years in the National Football League, getting cut by 40 teams, and eventually my mom was an academic, she's vice president of the university, I don't go over that, but she said, look boy, you've been trying to do this football thing for a while, maybe it's time for you to get a job. So, that's where I am now, I'm working in sports, working in academics and athletics. We used to have a facility here in Philadelphia called Philadelphia Sports Training Center. After I worked with James, how I met James before, through Steve Mallon and Pat Croce and Ed Snyder, who used to own Summit Sports Training Center. And eventually, me and a guy from Philadelphia named Mark Jackson, big Mark Jackson, an NBA guy, me, him, and a couple other guys started a sports facility to help student athletes. So that's kind of how I got involved in sports here in Philadelphia, how I came across people with James, and doing these type of seminars all across Philadelphia and some around the country. So today what I'm going to do is we are going to be filming this, so be sure to hoot and holler and make sure you ask questions. There is going to be a time after one of the speakers speak where I'll have a microphone, so if you have a question, if you have a paper or a pen, you want to write it down, if you try to keep it in mind, we'll ask the questions after the speakers are done. So there is, we can do it back and forth. We have a pretty nice group here, so we've got lively and awake. Of course, lively and awake, so we'll have a lot of opportunities to get the answers that you all need. It's great that we have the parents here, as well as some of the student athletes and some of the students. So we're here to give you all as much information as possible. And one of the things that when I do seminars and presentations, after we do the introduction, I always get on the microphone and say, how do you know what you don't know when you're supposed to know if no one tells you what you should know? And that's a tongue twister I want you to keep in mind as you listen to each one of the speakers, because there may be things that you think you already know, and there may be things that you should know that you may not know. And of course, if no one tells you what you're supposed to know, how are you going to know those things? So that's the information that the speakers are going to give you today. Make sure, again, if you have questions, we're going to have questions after each one of the speakers. We're all going to talk about different aspects of the college recruiting process, from the admissions process to accepting in school, finding the right school, based on your personality, and then looking at your top choices. Okay? Not just to bank on one school, but to look at everyone and make sure you're comparing apples to apples, not apples and oranges. So if you ask one school 5 questions, ask the next school the same 5 questions. Okay? Make sure you get all the answers that you need. So, before we get started with our speakers, we're going to have Councilman David Oh come up, and he's going to give our welcome and introductions. He's going to hand over.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for being here. So let me say that I chair a committee. The committee is the City Council Committee on Global Opportunities and the Creative, Innovative Economy. And in that regard, I really focus on human potential, what opportunities there are for the people in and around our city, and what opportunities there are for them in Philadelphia. And so this Blue Chip program is not my idea. In discussions with James Williams, who's one of my staffers and a former track coach at Cheney University, we talked about so many people in our city that have already shown their ability, their discipline, their talent, their commitment through sports. It's organized, you gotta compete, many have been champions, but then they graduate and are having trouble marketing themselves to find a job. And sports is an investment, and how can we translate that into helping our folks here in Philadelphia find opportunities? And some of you I've met, right? We've talked about different programs, programs for girls, programs for women, things like that. And so James kind of came up with this blue chip idea, and I love the idea. It's a great idea. At the end of the day, it is different to each person. It offers something different. But for me, as a councilman, what it offers is a bridge for an individual who is talented or gifted or skilled or has a great work ethic and is able to present themselves in addition to their academic record, who they are as a person, who they are as a future leader, who they are as a citizen, to a college and get themselves to college or to a better college. And what's great about this is it has the opportunity for funding. So many of our kids would go to college, but they can't afford to go to college. And you know the problem for the rest of most of our Philadelphians, you're either too rich to get help or too poor, so too poor to you're just right in that middle class area. So that's a challenge. And the sports is a great way to provide those opportunities. But there's a lot of mechanics to it, and there's a lot of details, and there's changing requirements, and there's a lot of challenges for our school district here in Philadelphia and for our city government. So how do we find a way to provide expert information, keep on top of things, and provide a good overview so that our young folks can make good decisions and get themselves into a great university, a great college, and have it paid for. And then for those that actually are going to become professional athletes or go into professional sports, we have some great folks here today who can share their experiences because they've been there. And, information is so hard to get. I'm grateful for the venue. I'm grateful that we're recording this. The reason we're recording it is so that we can put it on our webpage and our Facebook so everyone can get the benefits of this information. Finally, let me just thank all of our speakers. You have a lot of experience, and your willingness to share that to help folks here in Philadelphia is fantastic, and I certainly appreciate that, and I look forward to wonderful things happening. This is our first year, and we will try to make it better every year. Thank you very much.
Okay, so our first speaker today, we're going to have James Parker Lynch, the brand new executive director here at the Philadelphia School District in Athletics. James is a hometown native. He's actually from here in Philadelphia area, PA, from Bucks County. Went to Newman College, as well as played volleyball at St. Joe's. Played volleyball at St. Joe's. And he's been athletic director for about 8 years. Again, he's been here for about 8 days. So he's going to give us some insight and give us some leeway into getting ready for the school year. And so I'll give it a round of applause for James Parker.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. First, I just want to thank Councilman Oh and staff for putting on this event. As being said, I am brand new to the district. I started at the end of July, so kind of coming into this, full steam running ahead. But it was funny because during my first week when I was meeting with all my supervisors and deputy chiefs and asking them what they want to see in the school district of Philadelphia, specifically the Office of Athletics, they really stressed a lot of making sure our kids are college and career ready when they graduate high school. And then probably about the second day in, James Boyd gave me a call on the phone and said, "Hey, we got this great event going on, in a couple of weeks." I was like, "Oh, just tee it right up, hit it right off." So this worked out great. But so thank you, Councilman Oh and staff, for putting this on. It's definitely a great opportunity to hear from all of our speakers, and I'll try and be as quick as I can because I know we want to get to the others. But there's people all across the city that want to see our kids succeed. I was talking with one of my colleagues the other day as I'm starting to get to know all the ADs in the district and finding out what they want to see and things like that, and they said it perfectly. They talked about how high school and athletics are still talking about Wilt Chamberlain. Don't get me wrong, I went to St. Joe's University, lived in West Philly for a little bit. I know Wilt, the story of Wilt Chamberlain, and he was a great guy, but he hasn't picked up basketball in the city in over 50 years, and we're still talking about him. And that kind of got to my head, where's the next Wilt Chamberlain? Where's the next person we're going to talk about in the next 50 years? And that's what I'm really tasked to do with my new position, with my new job here in the athletic office. I really want to try and highlight a lot of our student athletes. My biggest thing is I didn't play sports in college. I played volleyball at St. Joe's on the club level, but I wasn't recruited in high school. But I knew I wanted to go to college because I knew I wanted to remain in athletics. I know my experience as a high school student athlete played a huge role in my success as a college student. And I had older brothers who played basketball in college, and I know the same thing translated to them, their success as college student athletes. But a lot of these skills that you learn as a high school student athlete are translatable to how you're going to succeed in college, whether you play sports or not. And I think organizations like these and events like these are very important to showcase the process, because I know for a fact I'm the youngest of 5, so I wasn't the first in my family to go to college, but we were the first generation of my family to go to college, and a lot of parents don't know the process of financial aid, of recruiting. It doesn't matter how good you are, people aren't going to be knocking down your door asking for your mom or dad to cook up dinner and have conversations about full scholarships, but you can do something yourself as student athletes to be able to increase your exposure, to be able to get coaches interested in you and talk to you. And a lot of it starts with seminars like these. So I really am thankful to be up here speaking to you. I'll touch upon a few things that Councilman Oh said in his opening address about marketing yourself. I think that is one of the most important things, and not just sending your highlight videos or your hot shot reels or anything like that, but marketing yourself. What are you going to bring to that college or university, right? Regardless of whether you're a student athlete or not, what are you going to bring to that college or university? So when you're doing your college applications and you're doing your essays and you're doing your resume, what can you bring that college is going to be thankful that they admitted you there, and that they're giving you scholarship money, and that they're putting you on a team, and that they're coaching you through your 4 years? How can you market yourself to be that best student athlete that you can be in your high school years? You talked about how this new blue chip initiative is going to be kind of individualized and different for each person. And I think that's important. I was talking with James Parker before. He said he already has 78 student athletes lined up, and we're hoping to increase that number, hopefully double it. And it's not going to be the same for everyone. Some people may need more help with one area of the blue chip initiative. Some people may need more help with the other. But the fact is that there's going to be resources here that are going to be able to assist with that. Councilman also talked about how blue chip is a bridge, and I think that's real important because you think of the word blue chip, you think of just the star athlete, the one who's getting the Nike deals or the contracts or anything like that. But in reality, a blue chip athlete is someone who sells both on the field and in the classroom. And I think the whole rebranding idea and rebranding process of that is going to be really important. And it's not going to be done overnight, but as we come together as a city and put our resources and our tools behind that, we're going to be able to rebrand that so that student athletes are understanding that they need to be the top student in the classroom and be the top student on the field. And top student on the field doesn't always mean scoring the most points or scoring all the touchdowns. It just means being a leader for your team. So I think that's real important, how it can be different for everybody. It can be that bridge that can kind of bring you from that high school to that college, especially if you have the talent to get there. We want to make sure we do everything we can to help you along that way. Translatable qualities, as I mentioned before, I know from my own personal experience as a high school student athlete playing basketball and volleyball, it definitely helped me excel in my college career and also my professional career. And the same thing goes with student athletes in high school. I hear this all the time. You might have a kid who's a star football player on the team, but yet he says he doesn't know how to study. And I always challenge him on that because I say, well, you're in Monday afternoon film session every single Monday during football season studying game film. You're picking apart, defenses and spread formations like the back of your hand. You're telling me you can't study for a math test. So it's a lot of those things where you get them to understand that what they can do as a member of the team or as a student athlete in the school can be directly translatable to what they can do in the classroom. And then degree, and then hopefully come back to Philadelphia and help the next generation succeed as well, which obviously with a lot of the speakers later on today, we'll hear from them as well. Again, I appreciate everyone being here tonight and for this opportunity to speak to you. My vision for the Office of Athletics is really just to bring the Philadelphia Public League and the entire city conference back into relatability. I spent the last 3 years as an AD at a Catholic school in the city, so I was a part of the Catholic League and kind of was working with the Public League on a peripheral, and I'm more than excited to be in this opportunity to be in the position I am now to help lead the Public League into that next level and hopefully that next area where we can begin to succeed both on and off the field in the school district of Philadelphia and the entire Public League. So thank you for that. I know
Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions for David while he's up here? Or I'll point you out individually. I'm going to point you guys out. So what would you say is the most important factor in a high school student preparing to get ready to build a college? What would you say is the most important thing that they need to get ready for?
I think that's a great question. I know one of our many college professionals will speak to this later, but when you're preparing to go to college and you're a high school student athlete, choose the college that's right for you. I remember when I graduated high school, right in Syracuse and Maryland and Michigan State with the Final Fours and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to go there just because they had a good basketball team. But you know, if you want to play and you want to continue your athletic ability, choose a college that's right for you. Maybe a big Division I school if you're talented enough, maybe a small Division III school. You're still going to graduate with a great degree. You're still going to graduate with a great experience. So my biggest advice for anyone currently in high school looking to attend college, choose a college that's right for you. Do research, go on college visits, reach out to coaches. Even if you're a sophomore or junior, reach out to coaches. Say, coach, I'm interested in your college. I just wanted to introduce myself and just tell them a little about yourself. And then who knows, maybe you'll start getting letters from him. But choose a college that's right for you. Choose one that you're going to feel comfortable with, that you're going to enjoy being in, and if you have the talent and the ability to continue playing, choose one that you're going to succeed in. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.